we have a quorum. Call the meeting to order. Could I have a roll call, please?
Kenny Easter,
Here.
Marks,
Here.
Richard,
Here.
Jones, Seaver, Graves, Shelby.
Here. Item number 2, discuss possibly approve the minutes of the November 25th, 2019 regular meeting.
I make that motion.
Motion's been made. Seconded. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 3, discuss possibly approve the minutes of the December 19th, 2019 special meeting.
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
I'm out of breath.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 4, presentation by Donald Paddock regarding the November 2019.
Keep me on fast. Basically, you're being videotaped. That's fine. Basically, you guys could walk around the pool and get a general feeling of how things actually are there. We have a bathhouse that I consider more of a problem than everything else. Doesn't meet code, doesn't meet ADA regulations. If you walk in and look up the stairs and you see there's an upstairs that probably is not dealt with anymore. It's just kind of been cordoned off or whatever. But the bathhouse is what a lot of my concern is. The pool, you know, the water loss, it's out of level. The pool itself is a little bit out of a level. We have moisture that's collecting under that thing, and I don't consider it a big issue because it's taken it, 60-something years to get 3 inches out of level. We are really saturating the area underneath it. We put a retaining wall in front of the doors back there at one point to help keep water out of the filter area, and I think you still had problems with water getting in the filter area. The operation has been great. You go down and say, okay, well, you go down and look at the chemical feed system. Well, the chemical feed system is great. It's got automation on it now, which it didn't originally have, and so they've upgraded. They've upgraded the filters at one point. We figured gallons, and we are just slightly different than what was figured, what's written on the wall or what was figured before, because the filter is just slightly undersized in my opinion. But it's not something I deal with. It is a commercial filter. It is great, and if you might end up with a point off on when you get an inspection or something if someone were to actually get down and figure the gallons, and most people wouldn't be able to figure the gallons and say, well, it wasn't in compliance. So it's just such a small quantity that I'm not worried about it. The pool's old. All the joints are bad in it and need to be cleaned out and caulked. The paint is thin. It needs to basically be brush blasted or sand blasted and walls rubbed out and a new epoxy paint application put on the thing. And so operation-wise, the pool could be operation good. I probably would want an electrician. If the bathhouse worries me a little bit, I'd say I'd want a licensed electrician to check out the bathhouse and make sure everything's on GFI and is up to code. We don't have good enough lighting there for night swimming, it appears, though I didn't look at it at night. But if you have night swimming, you really have to have it bright where you have no dead spots in the water. dark spots. So, pool's in need of renovation or replacement. That's cut and dry. A walkthrough will tell you that. I put estimates and I put estimates on renovation. They turned out a little bit over 3 million, I think. And I ended up, if we get into design, do preliminary design and figure out exactly, we're able to get a little tighter on estimates. I threw a couple $100,000 in for slide and play toys. So I put some plugs in the estimate because if we renovate something, we're gonna do something. I put a new bathhouse on it, got rid of that bathhouse. We decide, well, we wanna build a new pool, because a new pool is just, we can get it attracted like we want it, and smaller, so it's less cost to operate, and a bathing load that really will take care of us. You know, we're pretty huge right now. And all of a sudden you're probably between 2 and 2.5 million is what I would say, no matter what you do for a small wading pool or small pool, bathhouse with zero entry and diving and some type of attraction or something in it. I want to show you guys something just to give you this is a project that was done in Winfield, Iowa.
Oh, my home country.
That's going, coming up.
Does Winfield got a pool?
It's like one big slide area. Oh,
It's a walk-in beachfront type thing called Zero Entry,
But Winfield's a lot smaller than we are.
about 1,000 people.
wow.
Yeah.
What did that cost? Do you know offhand?
Oh, I do, that's why I was.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I know Winfield.
There's quite a bit of stuff right there.
There's quite a bit of stuff, it's a busy
That was pretty
pool.
cool. When you were given that estimate of,
No, I'm just showing you guys. That pool was done for about 1.5 million. 1.6 million. The next bid was about 1.95. It had a contractor that was 30 miles away, that was a big contractor that took it, that wanted it because of his community. I have a project at Caldwell, Kansas, that a few months ago, we put out to bid, size-wise the same as this, without this $150,000 play attraction in the zero entry, without this building and filter area, and without all that, and low bidder was 1.9 million. And I was needing 1.5 million. So I'm redesigning smaller than this. And so that's where I'm getting at. I'm pretty good at estimates on some of these things, and every now and then they just throw me for a loop. So, but that's why I say, okay, when it comes right down to it, you're gonna spend 2 to 2.5 million on a small pool that has all the little stuff with it. So,
What size pool would you recommend for a city of our size? Now, I know Winfield's a small little farm town, but,
they pull in from the whole county.
I understand, yeah.
And so they get, probably it actually, maybe is slightly bigger than it need to be. I probably you know, you say approximately, for every 1,000 square foot, it's 50 people a bathing load. And that's plus or minus a little bit. So, you know, you get 4,100 square foot. This, I think, had a 220 people bathing load. I would, probably this side, I'd probably like to see 350 or something like that as a bathing load. And I don't know what your young people are, and, I mean, the thing is, you say, okay, well, I know I had 50 people come through my outdoor pool every day. Well, you change it up and end up with the equivalent of a water park, everybody's gonna come. So, what is the school population here?
Well, I don't know.
Say
7.
25,
How much?
is it 2,500?
2,500?
Yeah, that's what
I know Roosevelt has over 500
Well,
alone.
Lincoln has 8.
800?
I was gonna say, I think that's what it is,
I
25.
think it's
or
around
26.
24, 27.
I think it's 2700.
I'm probably behind on that.
How many?
2,500, pre-K through 12.
Okay, it's a lot,
It is a lot. That's a long time.
it's a lot. So,
Well, in the county, there's not another pool in the county.
I think the closest place is what, Bonita or,
Claremore.
Bonita closed, Wagner.
oh, did they?
Well, Claremore doesn't have an outdoor, though. The closest indoor would be Wagner. And then Muskogee has a big water park.
Yeah,
But Bonita closed.
Well, Wagner's though. they have an
Grove
outdoor
has
pool.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wagner has, yeah, Wagner.
Are you talking about in or outside?
Outside.
Yeah, Claremore built one
Is that inside?
15, 20 years ago. They tore down their great big one and built a smaller one. But it's bigger than that one.
well, Wagner is one of our pools, the outdoor pool is.
Yeah.
So,
Wagner gets a lot of business.
So are you saying that going to what you're showing right there, that would handle what the city needs?
no, I don't think so.
Or you think it needs to be a little bit bigger?
Might just be bigger.
You said 350, but I'm not sure. What's that 350 represent?
Swimmers,
Swimmers.
It's
bathing load.
Just the numbers.
just the people that can be in the fenced area swimming.
Rachel, do you,
It's not like the same, when she does for 100 people go a day, this is at one given time in the pool.
Rachel, what was your numbers through the day? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Like the maximum, like the busiest
We
day?
usually
Uh-huh.
100, 125, I thought.
The busiest day was like a little over 200.
A couple of years ago, we had like almost just shy of 400 once on the Sunday. They wrote it down, they brought.
Dollar day, yeah, dollar day.
Wow.
Would a pool the size of the one we got at the rec center be about the right size pool for our outdoor pool?
I think the beta load at the rec center, it's 240 maybe?
I don't remember. I'll get that book. I'll get
Google says 10th through the 12th grade is 577 students.
The 10th through the 12th.
Just 10th through the 12th.
I think what, Lori, you were doing elementary.
Well, we have 800,
And 500.
I was-
Roosevelt
Count
has
Jefferson.
5, Jefferson
Junior
has
high is,
probably 2 or 250.
and junior high is slam full. I don't know how many they have.
Got a lot of kids. A lot of kids. Got a lot of 4-year-olds.
So,
I probably would go in the 7,500 square foot range or something like that.
I know Roosevelt.
The indoor pool is 5,700 square feet. And it's got a bathing load of 341 people. So,
What was the bathing load again?
341.
Just for a WAG number, what's your estimate? What would you say if we decided to go something like what you're showing? Because if you're saying it's almost,
That I want bigger than this,
mm-hmm,
you're saying, but similar
mm-hmm.
in range from this. I'd probably be in the $3 million range.
Okay.
So you're just about the cost of what it would be to repair what we currently have then?
Yes, probably.
I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go there in a million
build a new one for the same price as as fixing the old one, but the new one, but it'd be new. Now, the 2,500,000 that you've got here, that would be a pool half again as big as that pool?
Probably. What we do, what I had told him earlier, that if we can establish kind of what we're after, and I will start playing with the design and try to get something that I think is of the caliber and that we'd all be happy with, and bounce back and forth and kind of until we get a little more perfected on it, and then I'll put fairly good estimate together on that particular job. And, I mean, like just throwing one item, that little attraction out in the middle is about $135,000 raw cost to the contractor. And that doesn't include the pump, motor, and piping that goes to it, that feeds water to it. So, you say, okay, well, if I don't do that, all of a sudden I got $135,000 more on this. And, you say, well, there's 3 shade structures that are about 8,000 apiece. So all of a sudden you got another 25,000. We got a very nice indoor filter building with a metal roof on it that probably costs $40,000 or a little bit more. And a lot of times in Oklahoma, I don't put the filter system in a building. So, just because of the cost. So, but.
Well, you know, what we're trying to see, what I'm trying to get in my mind is if we want to make a recommendation to the council, you know, I would much rather see us spend $3 million on a new pool than $3 million fixing the one we've got. But you'd need to know what $3 million is gonna get you in a new pool size-wise. I know it's gonna be smaller than what we've got, because the city don't really need one that big anymore. But, you know, the first question is gonna come up with, well, how big's the pool? And
That's why I wanted this meeting, and we start here, and then we go one step further, and then we start doing a little bit of drawings and figure out how big from a bathhouse to how much money you want to spend on play features. And
yeah,
I throw play features in and recommend this and say, what do you think of this? And you say, let's get rid of that. Or,
If I'm reading this right, though, it really looks like a new pool and the bathhouse is actually less than the pool renovation. Am I reading that right? Is this, are these?
I just put a small pool like this.
Okay.
He had talked about putting a small pool in a park. And so I just basically,
So these numbers represent that size right there that you just showed us?
more or less.
Okay.
okay.
I basically tasked him to say, let's get started here with something.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I like that.
well, I like this too. I probably would extend it and make it a little wider, put a 3-meter diving on it, because I think kids love 3-meter diving, and just as a draw, because a lot of cities are going away from 3-meter diving. And so I like having a 3-meter diving board on, you know, which is the high dive, basically. So, but
So
I
that
would
would-
pull it out and put another 10 foot on the side of it, so it was wider, and maybe I'd decide to say, hey, let's figure out how to put a 6-lane swimming pool so a swim team could actually run meets outdoor if they want to. And that's a big deal if you guys are running swim teams, is say, okay, let's build this where it has a competitive course in it. So,
Not that I want to be in competition with the rec center, but they have, I'm not sure how many lanes, and they have a swim team there. Would that be in competition with the rec center if we looked at something like that?
Well, the rec center would use it probably.
I let the swim team use the outdoor pool this summer for practice.
Okay,
in the
so
morning.
it wouldn't interfere, would be a
It'd be
good
the
thing.
same people, and plus you'd have, golly, let's get outdoors and
Sure,
practice some,
get some good old vitamin D.
so. And a lot of times that'll attract more people too. So, yeah, I'm gonna get involved in this, so.
But where the present pool is right now, the outdoor pool, that what you are showing us, that could go there.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, it definitely could. You gotta prep it and tear out what's there, and so there's a lot of things that have to happen.
Lord knows there's enough room right there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of room. I mean, it's slopey there. There's room to the west, there's room to the north there.
It's
Let's just say we were
probably
gonna,
worth looking into to go in a little more detail to see what we can do or can't do, because
Okay, let me
personal
just,
opinion, we need to replace that pool. We need a pool, but we need to replace the one we got. It's just,
okay, I wanna play with it now. Let me just throw some things out there and you guys can say, okay, yeah, that's fine with me, or nah, don't do that. I think we do a 6-lane, so there's 6 competitive courses in the pool, 6 lanes. I think we put a 0 entry, so there's a big walk-in beachfront, cause
well, that's.
75% of the people are in
That
3
makes
foot of
us
water or
ADA
less.
That makes us ADA compliant with having the 0 walk-in.
If we put a handicap ramp rails
Yeah.
on it, which we,
which I think they have at the
Yeah, because we want everything ADA compliant. that we do.
so we do
6 lanes.
6 lanes, 0 entry with ADA ramp. Okay, we got big flume slides. Do you want a big flume slide?
Frank, what do you think?
Miami has the big, when it twirls, and they got the big velocity slides. So either or both of those, I think, would be,
I think Grove's got the same thing too, in that new one.
Right.
That post.
And we did
post
that.
office. I think it's huge. It's massive.
And what's that called? Something flume?
Miami didn't have diving boards.
Commercial flume slide, one's a speed slide and one's a,
We need 2 boards or 1?
On the slides,
No diving.
Diving boards.
He said the 3 meter,
I think they would prefer the high one,
which is the 3 meter.
used the most.
Yeah,
I've been
for
wanting to
sure.
go back.
The diving boards are really popular, yeah.
This one used to be high, and they cut it down.
Yeah, it was high when I came to town.
well, it's because the depth
Right.
didn't meet, probably didn't meet something.
But, yeah, 3-meter pool or whatever,
Then
board.
what was cool about Miami's too is, you like, we just put the, they got almost like trail light, like pole lights around the standards, floodlights shining down. They actually had like lights around the deck. That, we talking about lighting it up.
Those are.
This one is
on my list, but they're not on there.
Broken Arrow, and this one is Grove. I think I'll go off the Grove one, but change it up, but similar to,
How big is Grove, do you know offhand? Smaller or bigger than Pryor? Probably larger, because it's a little bit larger.
I think we need to be careful though,
Or is this Groves?
The
yes.
whole thing. In what-
because
You may not be able to install.
the price, well, we think about Mays County and we think about our economy and we think about, when we raise the admission to, what do we raise it to, $3? I mean, it's tough for some families. Grove, I know there's a lot of families in Grove that don't go, it's really
That
expensive.
whole concept.
Miami is only like $1.
Make it like.
Well, I want to, Grove's maybe 550, 6, and so, I mean, even though we think we could
More people you're
have a really large pool, I mean, if our prices are gonna be high enough, I don't know that we'd feel it that often, honestly.
And you could almost do some of that kind of.
Yeah,
like
But you're
a
gonna have more
We
people
don't wanna
come
outprice
with a nice new
ourselves.
pool. You're gonna have, in the beginning, and I don't know if
Different
you'll, I
people.
don't know if you'll sustain that.
Right.
You do like the Grove, just, Grove was built, I guess, 8 years ago or something. The contractor was in Neosho, Missouri, which is 45 minutes away. And it was built for about 1.5 million, the entire thing. And so that's what I'm saying, we're up and down on pricing. We get the $2.5 million. I feel like $2.5 million, we're gonna get what you guys want when we're done with it. But
So Bill, I guess another thing, are we agreeing that as is, the pool is not opening this summer?
Well, I had the opposite view. I was thinking that maybe with a stretch, we could have it open for this season. And then, if everything goes, and then start planning this. I have no idea how long it takes to build, tear down one, and I have no idea if we could get it for the season of '21, or not until the year after that.
Well, of course, depending on where we're building at, you're looking at, usually 9 to 12 months to build the thing, depending on what contractor you get, and depending on the weather and everything. If we're building the same location, we got a month of demo, and we gotta prepare the subsurface to receive the new thing. So, the 9 to 12 is not gonna be out of line. A lot of pools, we shut down in early August, just go to swim half the season and shut down early with the intention to start construction then. So they get a piece of their summer, because usually by the end of July and August, their bathing load is slowed down, or the people that go there have not using it as much as what they did earlier.
Rachel, help me out. I'm thinking last year, like toward the first part of August, we did a lot of swim parties. We maybe didn't have a lot of daily, or did we?
We won't open
Daily use?
Correct, always it dies off in July.
Yeah. And so we just
I feel
had,
like the daily swimmers, but yeah, it's always been
August was just
parties.
parties strictly.
yeah, pretty much just parties.
Can you do the pools kind of, how we done a splash pad where like, when I say phases, like you would build the deck accordingly to fit one of those big slides, but like save the slide for.
Yes, you
years
can.
down the road?
Yes, you can. My problem is, of all the pools I've done, there's only a couple I can remember where they came in a couple years later and added some big feature to it, because it's a public facility, and the first capital improvement, it gets taken care of, and then everybody's wiping their brow, and then you don't jump in and spend the.
My opinion is, if you're gonna do it, I think you keep the pool open until the new facility is open. And I would try to build behind the pool and just create a new place. When that pool gets done, you tear it out and you make parking right there. Cause
Build it just to the north of it?
yeah, Yep.
You wouldn't be able to build a pool down flat though, would you, because of the flooding?
You really wouldn't want to build it down the floodplain area.
you're gonna have to fill it anyway with dirt no matter what you do. I mean, there's gonna be some issues either way either way you do it, you're gonna have some.
Our love of things would be to build the new facility on undisturbed soil and not have to put fill. And then we go into an area and we gotta put 2 foot or 5 foot of fill occasionally, but the choice would be to be on undisturbed.
Well, that would
Start.
be it. But you're going to fill it or move the pool completely to a different location in the city.
Yeah.
But if you do that, we may wanna think about what's already there for the splash pad and just incorporate it from the splash pad that way and just create right there. Cause there's enough property right there, it may.
No, you might wanna say, well, I have a park that has a splash pad, so I'm gonna have another park that has the pool.
could put it over there by the splash pad.
I think that's what we do.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, I think that's what you do, and you just incorporate the splash pad as a area.
I don't know, we might have to take out those bathrooms.
Darn it,
Yeah, what a tough thing.
darn.
That's probably gonna happen anyway.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand, where would we put it?
Right.
You say about the splash pad?
No,
So I take out the tennis court,
Yeah.
the basketball
Yeah.
court,
Okay.
the bathroom,
Yeah,
and
the,
do it
uh,
right through there.
put it where those volleyball courts are right now, the sand volleyball court.
Put on in that low area, that flooding area.
I think if you do that, you could keep the pool open and you can, the splash pad won't, you're still gonna be able to use that, so there's nothing, any issues, and then when it finally gets done where the pool is, tear it down, fill it up, and make parking, cause I think if you do, you're gonna get people from other cities that's gonna be here pretty quickly that wants to do that.
Sure.
Okay, give me 30 days and I'll have you drawing.
Would your recommendation be to spend the money to fix the old pool or build a new pool?
Well, mine's always gonna be to build a
New
new
pool.
pool.
Build a
Very-
new
Very
pool.
rarely.
That's a no-brainer.
That one has a bunch of joints in it, and, our pools are monolithic poured concrete, they don't have any joints, and so you don't have that problem to start with, and,
It's
I
just,
just think we built a better pool, so,
yeah, it's outlived its use.
Mm-hmm.
but,
I think it did about 20 years ago, quite frankly.
30 probably.
well, we have some that are from the 40s that still we've taken care of and are not a problem. But even those, people want to build a new one, they're ready to have something new, and,
I think if we're gonna spend the money for it, we might,
Do
I
it
mean,
right.
well, not only that, but I think if you're gonna create a new atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because as we know, the splash pad that thing is packed.
Yeah.
And so if you can just add that type of atmosphere right through there, you
Right there.
grow it even more.
Mr. Paddock,
Actually, about to replace the volleyball courts, actually, I think that is a pretty cool idea. You can always move those wherever.
in your professional opinion, can the pool, as it is right now, go one more season?
no, I think it could, yeah, I mean, you haven't had any problem.
Yeah,
Waiting.
right.
and we're gonna-
Bathhouse.
I would like to see them seal the joints better,
But we do it here.
but, I mean, they take care of it great. I mean, you go look at that and it looks more like resembles a new pool when you look at the equipment and filtration and chemical control and what's being done down there. They are doing a great job with what they got down there. And
That's a thanks to Mr. Powell there, I believe, and his crew.
the bathhouse, I have a different story.
We know that. We know that's a goner.
We've ignored it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Any other questions for Mr. Paddock? Appreciate you
Exciting.
doing the report, bringing it to us and let us see it.
Okay, do you agree? Let me go ahead and do preliminary and do the basic plan view and estimate, and it's not gonna cost anything.
I would,
I make my money if you guys decide to go ahead and do it.
And build a pool,
I
huh?
don't think we need a
I
motion.
think before we go further with getting you too much involved and getting any money involvement, we need to take it to the council and make a recommendation to the council, and then if they feel like a new pool is what we ought to be, where we ought to be working toward, then we can get back together and see where to go from there. You think?
I don't know if we have to do that. He just said he could give us 30 days.
I will do,
Give
I
us
will
something
do
that
a
wouldn't cost us
little, I will
anything.
do a layout with a fairly good estimate on
Okay.
the layout, and it's not gonna charge you at this point.
That's fine. Oh, yeah, we would appreciate that, then,
Okay.
If
so
the
we
mayor
would
thinks
have
that's
something then to show the
fantastic.
council.
We need to take that offer. We need to take that offer. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we accept all three things.
Well, like I said, if it goes to design, that's when,
Yeah.
that's where I make a living. And if I do a good enough job on doing the plan view and getting you guys something, then maybe you guys say, yeah, well, let's proceed. And then
Yes.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh, me too, me too. Can we get some copies of that one that you, either, the one from Grove and the one that you were showing us that, maybe even have some that
One
might
from
even go to
Iowa.
council or some as well.
what do I just do with it? Let me, there it is.
Let me see that one from Winfield again.
That's it.
That's the one in, that-
Your
I was
own
born, I was
homestead.
born and raised up there.
and perhaps could we have, maybe make some copies of the one from Grove as well, sir? And you're out, your company's out of Oklahoma City?
Yes, we're just doing design work.
Does that, you do
We're
that?
doing the design work,
Okay.
so.
Yeah,
Take a
that's
picture
probably
of
about the
this.
size,
Yeah.
height of a board we would want.
No, go.
Well, we
And
can-
nine, and you
Is that-
say 9 to 12 months is what you think it would
Yeah.
take to
we meet 'em.
start to finish probably?
I would be surprised if we could get in, let's say we did all this. If this was our last year and they started, well, of course, if they do it on the other
Frank,
side,
over- and you can
perhaps
share
we
with our
could get
splash
it in
pads
the
are
year
there
of
directly across.
21. This is
Just
good
about what I
advice.
thought
Good
it would
advice.
cost
I'm
us
thinking
much
if
or
we were
more to
gonna
fix
do
it than it would
where
be to
we
do
are,
new.
That's where we
My
need
bet
to
would
look
be,
if we're
eh,
gonna put it.
and it would happen probably.
That's our.
And a new one.
You know, and
would
the
be
interesting
size we
thing
need.
is Grove has a
Right now,
splash
it'd be
pad
2 years.
A lot
in the
easier
same
than
complex,
anything.
but kind of like ours, there's no charge for the splash pad. But they have a separate splash pad.
Population.
But you know, if you talk about price, if more families, and of course, it's like, if they get a season pass, it's a whole lot cheaper.
But I think if you do it
Then
over
you
there, just because.
Well, we might get a different crowd there too.
Again, I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Is the city willing to pay for this? Do you think the city,
Or better, probably dirt there, maybe.
is the city,
I'm thinking that they will, but mayor's right here, we'll see, we'll see.
you know, will this be,
I mean, I thought it was gonna cost,
While we're waiting for those copies, Mr. Paddock, someone asked, what would, in your opinion, have been the cost in 1955 with that original build? Do you have any idea? Just some kind of an estimated cost of that build in 1955? About $50,000.
Good Lord.
How much?
he said 50,000.
That was probably a ton in.
Yeah, it probably was.
I think,
if that was FEMA
it's
money?
lasted 65 years. I think that probably was not a
tornado.
bad
That built
investment.
53?
No, 55. 55.
I'm sure, yeah.
That was a lot of money in 55.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Can you imagine
Most
that?
homes.
Yeah.
It's paid for it sometime.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was, ooh, color, no less.
Thank you, man. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I really think that's cool.
Yeah, I'd rather,
I
think
love
I'd
that.
rather have slides than, I mean, that's.
That's a
Did you do, was you involved with anything at the?
pretty neat
Muskogee?
pool for that little bitty town.
Muskogee?
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's how you need to put that,
They used to have a nice one.
because that gets everything in trash. There's your
No more, huh? No more.
Not anymore, but they used to have one.
Okay, so this one here is Grove, and this one's Broken Arrow, okay.
That's what I'm gonna look at when I'm doing.
I think I would.
Oh, that's a big pool for Grove.
And that one's, that was probably an 8,000 square foot pool, so it's the right size.
Sorry about that.
I'm telling you, every time we're up there, it's packed. They have a great attendance up
Where is
there
this?
At Grove.
At
That
Grove?
thing is packed.
Thank
Is
you
it
very
really?
much.
Hey, I appreciate it. Well, I am going to proceed.
We will accept your offer.
Yes, sir, we will.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate you guys' time,
Thank you for your presentation. and-
and I'll get home at a decent hour.
Yeah, won't be too bad, won't be too bad.
Appreciate it.
Maybe we will.
Yeah, right, yeah, right. Thank you, Mr. Paddock.
You got outdoors, you took your indoor one back? I did. Okay. Okay, we're good. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take care. Take care.
Item number 5, discuss and possibly recommend council action regarding process forward considering the November 2019 Park Bowl Park Pool Inspection Report.
Not sure what that all
Anything
means.
be done?
Not sure what that all means, but.
Since he's doing a
Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
drawing, do we want to table number 5 then until he gets us a drawing,
Yeah.
Mayor?
Yeah, I think that would be the, well,
That's gonna be at least 30 days, so we don't wanna take anything to council just yet, or?
So you can do a no action, you can do a no action on that item.
I think,
At
we,
council, I will make a report or ask Frank to make a report in his
In his report?
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, we need to let the council know that we're proceeding,
We're mov-
taking the next step and looking to see what a new pool would cost. And, yeah,
Correct. Correct.
at that, but we really don't have any recommendations at this point in time for the council, so
No action?
no action
So do a no action
On
on
number
that,
5.
on that motion, number
on
5.
that motion, yeah. Okay?
So we don't have to do
Did we
anything?
do that right this time? Did we make a motion and then have no action, or do we?
Did you have a motion?
Not
No.
yet.
There's no motion made yet.
Okay, if there's no motion made, then you can choose not to act. You as a chair can choose not to act on that, and move
Okay.
right to number 6.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we'll, item number 5, will be, no action at this point, until we get further information. Item number 6, Park Report, Mr. Powell.
Staying busy, and then we thought maybe some of this wetness would go away last year, but it hasn't. But, anyway, just kind of doing normal maintenance, been doing some of the equipment maintenance here lately. On the cemetery, last couple meetings, I haven't done much on the cemetery. The numbers I received, I'm saying that, 'cause I'm still kind of, don't know how accurate these are, but total, we ended up only doing like 79 funerals last year for Fairview and Graham, with an income of about 45,500. And so the last couple of years, it's been getting down a little bit. So I don't know, people living healthier, if they're going
Moving longer,
somewhere else,
sure,
or
longer.
just,
Are you seeing more cremations?
Yeah.
we had, if you want to, we had 13, according to the numbers I got for the whole
Really?
year. So a lot of people don't necessarily bury their cremations, a lot of them have them cremated and they save them until spouses, or stuff. So cremations, it's kind of hard to,
Is your property that you have now then, are you think there's enough for,
well, if they keep slow like this, then yes, we got a little bit longer to do the add-on and like what we were. Expansion and what we were talking, I think at the last meeting or so. I think Chris, I just now remembered that, I forgot, I think Chris was actually wanting me to try to figure up how many spaces are available compared to what we, do in a year.
you're not very,
That's gonna be time consuming.
well, if you're not
That's
bringing
gonna
very
be
many
on that
people,
guy right there.
wow.
I know grade, section 16 out there, maybe 5 left in 16. I mean, it's,
But it's been open, what, about 10 years? But anyway, I don't really have a whole lot to say if y'all got any questions. We did receive the new splash pad features from, the last one, but we're not
Awesome.
installing them yet. So depending on which ones we get here in a few more minutes, we didn't install them. Part of it's for a reason, because the rep kind of, they kind of go certain places. We can't do it.
Right.
So it depends which one we get, and now that'll even really determine, where they go. So, man, other than that, just don't have much. Unless y'all got any questions.
Are you having flooding issues at the park? I noticed when we had that big rain, was it a month ago? First of the month, because I hit something in my car, we got it, anyway. It seems
Well,
like,
I mean, we do, but the park usually seems to drain pretty quick.
I know it was,
We have
Really?
even the massive floods where they've gotten to the pool.
Yeah.
Usually it's out within, I mean, it'll go down as fast as it came up.
you having any erosion problems anywhere through there right now, or?
We're having erosion issues around the pond. You know, the
yeah.
pond itself's probably gonna be my next big project, you know. There's a spot or two that's actually starting to like cave
I saw that.
in.
We-
And, you know, and so the pond's probably my next big project at the park, you know.
Seems like the trees held up pretty good too through a lot of this wind and rain and some of these
Yeah.
storms we've had here lately, which is kind of
We,
odd.
we think we lost, because of the flooding this past year, we had 2 trees. They never completely went, but we took them on down before they did. They were looked like trying to uproot just because the ground's so soggy. So there was a couple of those that we've had to take out. Right there, kind of just west of the volleyball and basketball area. And
I noticed Sunday whenever we saw Pat at the restaurant, we went by the park and, man, it was packed up there. I mean, people were packed in there, so it's good to see that they're
Every
using it.
day.
And it was a nice day.
Yeah, but I mean, the park was packed. Or just curious, because why I brought that up was on dogs. What is our issue, or what is our stance with having dogs out there?
well, there's actually, city ordinance, with the leash law.
Right.
So if they're there, and it is, I think in the code book, where they're not allowed on the trail and stuff, but we're not there 24/7.
Yeah, I know, but there was a lot, I did notice that was one of the biggest things, and I did see some people kind of skittish. I don't know, do we have
And
signage
we
up?
did put up one of the doggy poo
Little,
stations at
green baggies
Centennial. And it is used,
Mhm.
we've gone through the first bag of the bags, box of bags. So we got one more to put up, we just been trying to figure out the best place in
Is it
Whitaker.
Whitaker?
Because Whitaker, I think, is gonna need more than one. At Centennial's pretty easy, because they almost all come across from Elliott Street from the apartments. So
Yeah.
we put it like right there. So I might try to get one more in Whitaker, and, but yeah, they are being used.
It's a new thing. People, it just takes a little time, for people to make those changes and stuff, so.
Well, I was wondering if we needed to maybe look at a place that the city has to put a doggy park in, because that's becoming a bigger thing people are wanting to do, which,
They're more just open theirs, and I see people there quite a bit.
I know, I mean, that
Because
was,
I drive by a lot on my way to my son, so I'm thinking, when they were building, I was like, what is this? And then the dog park.
I do have one of the
It's split
playground,
up for big dogs and
Yeah.
little dogs.
one of the playground areas, one of the older ones, the plastic barrier walls around the sand. There's one of those that won't be long, might have to replace. And what's bad is a lot of times it's hard to replace just that one, because depending what company they bought them from,
how long ago?
yeah, they're all mismatched or new, and so, maybe one of those just kind of a heads up, this next year may have to buy some new borders. The actual equipment's okay, but yeah, starting to crack or split and sand, sort of. But other than that, I think,
Wintertime.
yeah, it's winter time, kind of doing what we
Maybe.
can, doing a lot of leaf cleanup or,
Well, listen,
sticks.
I was gonna say, the parks look amazing. They really look good.
A lot of that goes to the new guy we got. He was a good one. Don Fraley, the one we hired in October. He's been a good one. So, yeah,
They
it doesn't
look-
matter.
I mean, it really looks good, and you can tell that people are enjoying it, because there's lots of people there. Good Lord.
But so other than that, until line 9, I guess that's all I got.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from Frank? Anybody got? Thank you, Frank. Item number 7, the golf course report. Mr. Bowman.
Good evening.
Hey, Dennis.
As far as the golf course goes, I'll start with the finances. Of course, it's been very wet, so our revenue is down. I mean, it's down worse than it's ever been, but hopefully You know, like this month is the first month it's actually above what it was a year ago. So our January's finally gonna be better, but we've had a good, decent January already, so. But we're quite a bit down, on the revenue. Our expenses are up, one because, all the FEMA work that we had to do, replacing the pump station, putting all the new, irrigation controls in, all the debris cleanup. So, my line item for expenses, it's at 68%, so that's up quite a bit compared to where it needs. It should be 50% right now. Hopefully, we're gonna get some of that money back from FEMA, but that's just something we're gonna have to deal with. We have cut back now, so I'm down to just the 2 workers out there, so we're trying to maintain as thin as we can, but we had to do all that work. We do have, the pump station is in, operates great. That project is completed. The irrigation controls are all in. We've moved the one that was in the floodplain out, run all the new wires. That's all done. The only thing left is just setting up the computer. It's all in and everything. It's just a lot of computer work. Soon as I have more time, the company's gonna come up. I gotta send them some more information on sprinklers and head outputs and pipe sizes and all that. It's gonna take me some time, so, to get all that data to them, but as soon as I get that to them, that's all done. So, the good thing is, new pump station, new controls, all gonna work great. I can't wait for a drought. I'm so tired of it. You know, it's just, but anyway.
Yeah, me too, so we
Yeah.
can get off it, not be park paths only, right?
Never thought I'd look forward to a drought, but I am now. So,
Be careful what we wish for.
I understand that.
That is true, that is true.
But anyway, so I'm real pleased at how all that's went. We did, the city council, I may not have those numbers with me, they allowed us to spend approximately $118,000 on that. I went 1,700 over because we had more wires that were bad underground than we thought, so we had to replace those, but we're gonna have that all approved, hopefully at the next council meeting, and it's all paid off and everything, so, but we did go over our budget $1,700, but that was just some unexpected costs that we had no idea, the cost for the wire and labor, run that much over, so at a $118,000 project, that's pretty close. But anyway, so that's update on that. We still have been working when we can on removing some trees around the greens that are just really making it hard to grow the grass. Can't hardly grow the grass with all the trees and the roots and everything. So we're still doing that project. Thanks to Frank, he's loaned us his little dump truck. That's big help to us. So. Couple things that's interesting. Some of y'all may know their state's contemplating still, from what I hear, closing Sequoia State Park Golf Course, which is the golf course in Wagner. Sunday I was working the pro shop and I had I had 15 guys, 2 different groups of guys come through, and they said that they come over to play our golf course because Coweta Golf Course had closed. The Woods Golf Course in Coweta had closed. So, you know, we had those people come over. So that's a good thing. I mean, you know, we're bringing people from out of town, you know, people drive over from Coweta, come play our golf course. So I know some of those guys, I think after they got done playing, they went to JL's or somewhere. So that's, you know, the way our little deal works. You know, we do bring people into our town. So it's sad to see other courses closing, but the golf course business is tough. It is tough right now. But, you know, towns like Sand Springs, they're spending $1 million on their clubhouse, $1.5 million on the course, so they're spending $2.5 million on that facility in Sand Springs. I was just out in Enid, I think it's Hidden Lakes Golf Course up there. They're spending money for, I think, close to $400,000 for a new maintenance building on their course, and they're putting $150,000 into their pro shop and to upgrade that. So Enid's spending money. on their public golf course. So it's good to see that, those kind of things going on. I just got back from the PGA seminar in Orlando and learned a lot of good stuff there, working on some marketing things, working on a lot of real good stuff. So that was a good trip. Tomorrow morning, I fly out to the golf course superintendent show, so I'll go down there and see a bunch of equipment. I have a whole list of things that I'll be doing, looking at sod for our greens, number 8 green that we need to replace, looking at a lot of things about the maintenance building, restrooms on the course. They'll have those, the people that build those out there, lightning protection. There's several companies. I already contacted one that does lightning protection, so I'll be able to see them. Some equipment lifts for, their specialized lifts for greens mowers and stuff like that. Aerifiers for the fairways and greens, so future things that the golf course is gonna need. I'll be able to really get a good grasp on those things, so. Some of the things that I want to work on just as soon as I get back is really doing, trying to get everybody as much as I can engaged in doing some kind of membership drive. We got to try to increase our revenue with some of these other courses closing. Maybe that's a chance for us to tap some new customers. So I want to really try to, do everything we can do to increase our revenue. We can't do a lot about decreasing expenses. We're just at the bottom line of, operating that golf course as thin as we can operate. So another option is to really try to increase our revenue. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. I think that's been a big hindrance to us, but if we're really pushing hard, I know we got a lot of good ideas. Still haven't worked on them yet, but some corporate memberships, but even just some of our regular memberships, trying to get people to come out and play golf and use our facility, and so that's kind of where I'm at.
Do you know how the course is doing over in Claremore, Heritage Hills?
I know the city's putting some money into that golf course. They're struggling big time. I've talked to their golf professional over there, Andy Forbes, and he says, man, the golf business, he's never seen it so tough. It is just very, very tough. It's been a tough year.
Right, I was thinking they were gonna build some new greens, or maybe just do a lot of renovating on their present greens.
I don't know to the extent what exactly they're doing yet.
And I don't know. I know when I checked this out well over a year ago, year and a half ago, they were not getting city or county money to help them, but maybe
Right.
that has changed.
Correct.
So they are getting
Getting
city
some
money
city
now?
money from what I've heard. Now, I will talk to Andy at our PGA meeting in Tulsa, probably in March. It'll be in the middle of March. I'll talk to him. I can find out exactly what all they're doing.
Okay.
Just a question, with all the building that's going on out at, on 69A with the new, all that district, are we thinking that some of those people will come from there as well?
Yes, I'm hoping that, and that's what really gives me a lot of hope, is that, from where we were at 7-8 months ago, the city has come through big time with our pump station, our irrigation controls. They come through with our equipment. So, it's exciting to see that we've gotten a lot of support from our city, and that they care about our golf course, and so we're starting to get it to go the right direction again. And the better we make that facility, I think just the more we're gonna attract people.
I think if we start advertising it, I think it will make all the difference in the world. Because I noticed that there's somebody on the Sports Animal that they're doing, one of those golf courses, they're
Correct, yeah.
doing some type of promo.
I've advertised with them before. I've been on there and hosted a little bit, and
I
got to
think
talk.
it's a great deal, and
Yeah.
especially with what's going on, I think we'll gain people.
Right.
So-
But yeah, that's a very good market for us. I mean, it's a captured market, so to speak.
Oh, it is. I think
Yep.
I think it'll be very well for a golf course, especially
Yep.
we can advertise a little bit and try to
Right.
get some people down there, because
Yep.
it's, people who play golf kind of know where it's at, but if you've never played golf, I think you would.
Right. Yep. We will definitely work on some good marketing in that area.
I just wanna, I'll just say this, I'm still a little bit disappointed, actually, more than just a little, that we can't somehow get some funds to rebuild that number 8 green and put it up like we had talked about higher and get it out of flood, you know, because we might spend 10 or 15,000 on grass, and who's to say that we might have another flood and it ruins that in another year or two?
Right. And from everything I've talked with Johnny with, you know, Mays County Emergency, Johnny Jensen, FEMA will not do that. So it could be up to the city
Right.
to do something like that. It's, you know,
And I understand that, I get that,
Right.
they're only gonna kind of fix up what was there.
Right,
And I
yeah, that's their
understand that, but I
rules,
just
so.
wish that we could get,
yeah.
you know,
If they give us, say, because that's one of the things when I, in Orlando, Wednesday and Thursday, I'm gonna be talking to the sod growers. And, because the sod could be, last year, if you waited till March to order sod, they were out.
they're out.
You had to go all the way up, almost to the Canadian line to get it. It's crazy, so, it's just, and which makes it almost inefficient to drive all the way through.
Transportation's a real
Huge.
big cost.
Correct, yeah, so, but so that's one of the things that, you know, we need to get that green fixed sometime in March. That's the ideal time is March as far as bent grass, you know, goes. So you start doing it later, it just gets tougher and tougher, but, had a golfer come in the other day, said, well, the golf course is great, y'all, you know, except for number 8 green, you know? So I said, yeah, and he understood the flood. He understood it and everything, but that's still their comment, right? Golf course was really good out there today, except for number 8 green. Well, we gotta get that
It's bound to
fixed.
slow down.
So, but back to your point, yeah, I'd much rather see instead of, you know, putting 15,000 and then if it floods again this spring, you know, who knows what could happen? You know, the irrigation system should be good, but, you know, you hate to lose $15,000 worth of grass, you know, and the time and labor to do it, and then you gotta do it all over again somehow, you know, so, yeah, I mean, if you built a new green, you know, you're probably looking at $65,000, but you eliminate that problem. So, you know,
But to build a new green like we would like to build, would be at least 50,000.
probably so. I mean, I've called people that do it. There's a company here that does golf course renovations. They say, yeah, you know, they gave me the numbers and it come up, I think, closer to 70,000. You know, there's just a lot to it. To build a new green, you know, one, you gotta move all the irrigation. You've gotta haul in dirt. You gotta, you know, have all the sand and seed beds, the drainage done. It's quite the process. Then you gotta do something with your cart path, you know, because you're moving the green further back. So now you gotta create a new cart path.
People
if you
just can't walk?
if you put a bunker, yeah, no.
Come on.
That's why they don't play. If you keep that green has a bunker, so if you keep a green in a bunker, bunkers are, you know, expensive to do it and do it right.
Right.
You know, time you put a liner in there in the sand, but then it lasts when you do it right. So time you do the whole, then you got put grass all around the surrounds. You know, you've got a lot of area, not just the green you tear up, then you got all this dirt, so you got to shape it and put sod over it. So it takes a bunch. Yeah, you wouldn't even want to have any idea what Southern Hills spent on 18 of them. It's, you know, it's way out there.
They did
You know,
all 18.
$6-7 million. You know, so, but anyway, so yeah, it just takes a lot, and you know, you could go in there and poor boy it or do it, you know. But I just have a hard time doing things halfway, you know. So, but it just would be good to fix the problem, but yet, you know, you have to have the money to do it.
So we need at least 10 or 20 people to be able to, maybe say they could put in $5,000 or $10,000,
Oh, yeah.
and then we could get
Yeah, only take 20 of them.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something, but,
I think
you
we
know,
could do that.
you know, there's a lot of ways. I know one of the things, we got some, you know, like David Stewart out there, he said that he might be able to help us do some things, but I was, you know, talk to him about corporate memberships. But yeah, we've got to be able to raise money, and there's maybe a lot of different ways to raise it, you know, that we haven't tapped yet. So. I think I've covered everything on my list.
But on the FEMA claims, we still don't really know when we might get something from them.
Not yet. I know he's submitting stuff. He's waiting for me to get some more estimates on the sod, which I'll have Wednesday or Thursday. I told him I'll email him as soon as I get them.
Okay, we had a couple action items, but I think we've already just taken care of that. The golf course pump station, and the FEMA claims, we're still waiting on FEMA.
Correct. As far as I know, this the
Everything-
mayor would have any
everything
more
been turned
information
in,
than I
but-
have on FEMA.
Is there any other,
Yes. And you already covered, you said when you go to this thing, I think tomorrow or whenever, that you'll bring back some stuff on lightning protection.
Correct.
Lightning protocol,
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Do you think, another action item was the recycle?
Oh, yeah, I do have some on that.
Okay, so
I-
maybe we'll-
Yeah, they will be there too, and.
You'll be here,
so there's
or
some-
you'll get
I've
information?
already seen them at the PGA show.
Okay.
But there'll be more of them at the superintendent show, because that's more on that end.
Okay,
But they have some containers that I'd seen that are made for, it has a top to it and everything, and I
Right.
just have to get some pricing on it, but.
okay.
they'll
And you'll
have
bring that
those.
information back?
Yep,
Oh, okay,
I'll have
great.
that, yep.
Awesome, great.
Before you go, Dennis, what is the school participation out there? Are you still having a lot of kids come out to play golf?
Yeah, today it was great. I know, I think I counted, they had 6 boys and then 1 girl was out there, and she was
A real beginner.
yeah, but she was a transfer student, not a transfer, but from overseas.
or an exchange student?
Foreign exchange, I
Oh.
couldn't get to that, yeah, it's a foreign exchange student out there, and so, yeah, she was a complete beginner, but it was good to see somebody like that out there.
Well, you know, if
And-
she's from Korea, though, she'll really learn quickly.
Yeah, right. So, and I know, because my granddaughter, I mean, they said the junior high has got at least 5 girls playing there. So the junior high will have a full team,
Oh, cool.
because they'll play at least 2 tournaments.
Is there promotion stuff that we need to do at the schools to advertise, to get kids to come out to play golf?
Yeah, probably could do some stuff there, just to, I know, you know, the golf membership is very inexpensive to get some kids out there. I've been doing several lessons with a
Really
lot of
cheap.
those kids, but, there might be some, you know, flyers and stuff that we could put up out there. I know the junior high used to have a bunch of kids that play golf, but it just has dwindled down, but, you know, that's probably an area that we need to try to market more to them, and maybe just by them seeing, hey, come out and play golf, you know, they come out junior high and high school and play.
You know, it's kind of the demographics of our schools are changing some too, so I'm assuming that may help a little bit too.
We
They
used to rely on
they
the
used to bring
coaches.
a busload
Yeah,
of junior high kids out there every day they came out.
yeah.
Now they can't,
Well, last year may had
yeah.
8 or 10 of them last year. Used to have
We had-
45.
2 years ago or 3 years ago, when my one granddaughter was a senior, she went out and recruited enough girls to have a team.
Right.
That they'd never, half of them had never seen a golf course before, but
We've always kind of relied on the coaches to help do that, but maybe that's something, since it's not working, we need to take
Well, they
more
just-
action on that and try to push it ourselves.
I think if you did, you would probably get more kids than you anticipated.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Just
wonder,
don't think about it.
what if Laura?
Right.
I bet Laura Holloway, if she's not already doing it, she would. I mean, she's a golfer. She's doing that after-school program. I know she took kids out, I thought it was last year, to the first tee out at Mohawk. It was either last year or the year before.
The year before, we had them out at our course last year, and I
Oh,
gave them
okay.
all lessons last year,
Okay,
the
cool.
after-school
That
program.
after-school thing, yeah, she took
It's,
about that.
yeah. So I've talked to her already about this year,
This year.
and, you know, right now, I don't have an assistant professional. I've got the little shop girls working, and so it really takes more staff to, you know, because it takes at least 2 people out there working with those kids. And we were doing them, you know, was it 4 days a week, 3 days a week, something like that. And that's just, and I love having them out there, but we have to have people to help teach. You know, you gotta be a teacher.
Right.
So, there's only so much of me to go around right now.
Sure.
But yeah, the kids are definitely the way to go.
just seems, I think you're right, you just don't see.
Yeah, it's just
Mia's group was
the
probably the last
participation
one.
for some reason. The high school boys hardly, they were just barely fielded a team 2 years ago, wasn't it? That they just barely had a,
Yeah, barely had a team.
yeah.
And there's been, how many kids from prior to this won to state here? Good Lord, for a long
Yeah.
time.
Both of my sons have won and as individuals, and in we had like
3
3
years.
3 years for the
Yeah, that state champions.
and we've had
Not only as a
several
team, but
girls.
individuals,
We
yeah.
had Shoto,
And Arnold
so
Girl,
we've had,
Taylor.
from our area, there's been a lot.
You just had a whole group that was really interested in golf there for.
Oh, yeah, that was
That
the
was
toughest
a big-
group.
I mean,
Gap
I used to
was-
take Nick out and just dump him out there
Yeah.
in the 6th grade in the summer. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the 2002 and 3 era, it was really tough.
Well, I mean, I think it's still there, I just think we gotta figure out how to get to the
Kind of
schools
Yeah.
and get the
I know it.
schools involved again.
If
with
these,
guys.
if these mothers would realize that that's the best babysitter in the world, you put them out on the golf course.
Yes, it
with them
is.
all day.
Yeah,
Buy them a dozen balls, see you later.
exactly.
Same thing with the pool.
Anything else from Dennis before we go into the next set of things? We got one from Frank, and then we're back to you, Dennis.
All right.
Item number 9, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding the new splash pad features.
Okay, this has to do with the 15,000 from the Cherokee Nation. And I think originally the plan was, since we bought 2 ourselves, to maybe go with a bigger one. Well, I forgot to add the prices on the ones I gave you, but they came back cheaper than we thought, so I'm looking at getting 2 more again. So it's just a matter of
Wow.
which ones you wanna, of the 6, I guess you had, they each have the 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
that's your packet.
So we can look at getting 2 more.
Yeah.
2 more.
so 2 of these, 2 of,
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
of what is in front of it.
Yeah, I started out 15 or so, then I narrowed it down with the rep, and then these were like my final 6 that I kind of picked, and he okayed that any of these would work. You know, they may have to go in a specific place, but any 6 of those would work. If you want to go with when we say big one, it's just like a tall one, you know. Okay, so
for a snail
for
and
shipping reasons,
a frog.
if we stay with 2 tall ones, it's cheaper. Because,
For shipping,
yeah, they're by size and not weight, or like a toy. So he said if you get 2 tall ones, they could be shipped on, like, it'd be cheaper than buying a tall one and a small one. That's on shipping.
That
Now-
old umbrella twirl is kinda.
Umbrella
calling my
Twirl
name.
is my top choice, and it's not the high dollar ones, I forgot to give you all the prices. The Seahorse is the high dollar one.
He's cute.
Yeah, that umbrella twirl, that seems like
No, it's only,
kinda cool looking.
yeah, that's my top one of the choices.
that's the one I.
That would be like my number 1 pick, because it spins.
Yeah.
So he's how much?
How much is that umbrella?
The Twirl is 5,700, it's actually about the cheapest one.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, put it for example, the Twirl's 5,700, and the little fish, which he says is really popular, it is 6,150.
Wow, fish number 1 here,
Yeah,
and that's 6,100.
I'm looking at the Twirl. There was something about the Seahorse, I can't remember what he said, that kind of
Turns off.
talked me out of it. At one time, that was my choice, but now
He's
it
good
would,
looking.
it would be the palm tree and the
I'm not too
swirl,
crazy about the palm tree.
or the Twirl and one more. I just didn't know, since we just got 2 small ones,
Yeah,
well, I say small, they're about,
well, yeah.
but, I don't know if you want to go with 2 of the larger ones, or,
So what is the difference in shipping if we go, say, you know, with 2 tall ones versus a tall and a shorter one?
he never could give me an exact deal, but I looked up the shipping on the 2 I bought before, and it was $800. That was for two, like, small ones.
Well, just a crazy question, could we get 2 of the twirls and would that look okay?
Oh, no, I don't think we can do two of the same. Cause like they go by the way it was
Water flow.
plumbed,
Okay.
by volume and water flow rate and stuff.
So do we have something that spins like Fish One? Isn't it one of the new ones we bought gonna spin like that?
So we got a snail and a turtle.
Seems like the snail might spin.
The snail might resemble
That's
the
what I'm-
fish or the butterfly. I think the butterfly spins too. I don't know what it is about the fish, but he just said it was a really popular.
The fish number one.
It reminds me of the snail.
I kinda liked the butterfly on the small one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was gonna say, that's my name, I wasn't gonna
You
be
know,
the one to
the
say it, I'm
small
glad
ones.
you said that, Frank, but I like the butterfly and I like the twirl, the umbrella.
But put it this way, okay, if we went with butterfly and the twirl, that's gonna equal 11,600. We actually even got.
Money left over.
So how many tall features do we have now?
Just the one that, like it
Umbrella?
kind of resembles this, but it's like a flower and it just runs over.
So
That's
if we
why-
could get two tall ones, that'd be nice, cause it's mainly small.
Well, that's why I didn't know if you wanna go two small ones in place or small one and a big one.
Well, I think for sure the umbrella, the twirl.
Yeah, I think the twirls,
That looks fun, actually. Frankly, we don't later at night, so nobody can see us go out there.
there was, like I said, several others, but a lot of them resembled the ones we had. We got one about this tall, it's called the Aquadome and the flower. Well, there's 2 or 3 others that were tall, but they were just like bigger versions of the same thing. Or the issue we run into is, he has our pad in the computer system. So when I tell him which one to look, he has to stick in his program
Plug it.
to see. But a lot of them spray too big of an area and then they overlap onto another feature. Because there was some other really cool ones, they wouldn't work on our pad.
So how much would the seahorse and the twirl be? Would that be out of budget?
I think the
77,
umbrella was
57, so
5,700.
13,400. And then shipping, even if shipping's 1,000, that's 14,400. Actually, that would be the closest to just almost right at the 15,000.
And since we're getting two small ones already, new,
Yeah.
we had these two tall.
That was my thinking. Well, we just bought 2, and
How much did you say the seahorse is?
the seahorse is the higher dollar one. It's 7,700.
Does that thing twirl too? I mean, you can spin it around?
The only one it did was the umbrella twirl.
Okay, how much is the, I have the fish, how much is the butterfly number one?
59.50.
59.50.
One thing I noticed last summer is that they had the one shaded area just on the east side of the splash pad. Do we have any other shaded areas? Where I wonder,
There's 4 of them on the.
is there, just right there?
There's one in the middle.
Yeah, there's one in the middle, one right beside it on the east,
Okay.
By the-
one on
by
the
the
south,
charging
and then
station,
there's
there's one
one that's
kinda-
off the pad.
Yeah.
Cause I got them all different, like purple, green. All
Oh,
4
the
of them's
awnings.
different color.
Okay, the awnings. I was thinking like a picnic table or like a sitting,
I mean, they all
Pretty sure
have
all the way
They all
around.
have, they all
Okay.
have table,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, the one in the middle is round, isn't it? Isn't it?
The one in the middle was like right up the sidewalk, and it was handicap accessible. That way, when they come up the sidewalk, you could wheel a wheelchair underneath it. That they were all, one of those had tables, like, it's like a 6x6 pole in the middle with table built.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
one on the south, that was the only one that, it was kind of built on the slope of the pad. And so it is just awning, and that's the one where you can drag a bench or what, it don't have a pre-built table. And then there's the other one we built off the pad in the grass, that's a covered picnic table.
Okay.
And then so that's the 4.
Do we know right now, I mean, the biggest draw are Philly, the young people, correct? And
Yeah,
from-
most of the pads, younger, younger kids. But like I said, well, I mean, like on this picture, I mean, even the tall ones, I think the younger kids, if you look at the umbrella and the seahorse, it's little kids still that's, around them. Like, I can already tell you, I don't know if you can picture the splash pad in your head, but where the guns are on the north end, that's, okay, so I think I explained this before, the yellow pads that are scattered throughout, that's where all these go. I think the umbrella, one of those would go on the north end in the middle, and I think the other one, if we do two, would be like right in front of the buckets. There's 3 in front of the buckets. The outer two, whatever I put on one, this is where it gets tricky. Those are on the same line. So you have to get 2, not the same feature, but they have to have the same flow rate and stuff on those 2. And he said the fish, if we done the fish, he thought the fish and the snail would do on that, but that's, the turtle and the snail, one's gonna go over probably kind of by the rings, because that's where the smaller stuff was. One will probably go by the buckets. One of these tall ones would go in the north by the guns, and the other one would probably go by the buckets. If that gives you any.
So we better to get 2 tall ones in, is that what you're?
It doesn't really matter.
Sorry.
Shipping, said the way he implied it, I think getting 2 tall ones, shipping would be a little cheaper than a tall one and a big one. Because they could put both tall ones like on,
Yeah, one skid.
yeah.
Frank, how much is that palm tree?
Palm trees, it's $68.50.
And how much is the tot twister?
Little taut twisters, it's only 4,100.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. I think we need 2 of
I
those.
like that one.
I do too. I think we need 2 of them.
So I think it's a given on.
That one
the
actually
umbrella.
does something. This one just sits there.
Yeah.
The water
That's
runs
so
off the
happy.
leaf. This one actually does something. That's an action thing. You can twirl that and make it water fly.
Yeah. Yeah, that one right off the bat that one was almost a given. As soon as he said it would work,
Yeah.
I figured that was gonna be one of the 2.
I like these short ones though.
Yeah.
No, we've already gotten 2 little ones.
That and the umbrella.
Is that gonna be too many?
Or that and the butterfly, I mean.
And after we get these 4 done, I think there's still room, just for future, there's still room, I think, for 3 more even after these 2. I think there was for 7 additions, so this would be 4.
Wow.
Do we have very many places where the water just shoots up?
You got a bunch of the ground ones.
The ground ones, are there several?
When they come on.
I can make them shoot up. I control a lot of the pressure.
Oh, you do?
I mean, I
We
can
don't
make
want
stuff.
gloves.
I can
Oh,
make
hands
stuff
up in the
really-
air.
No, I don't think that's what we want.
Across the road, huh?
Yeah.
Hold still.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
We-
Frank turned up the pressure.
We've had fun, like when I fired up, and when you first fired up, I'm always tweaking it.
That's funny.
Donald, would you go over there and see what's wrong with that one?
Which one of these uses the most water, Frank?
That one's probably-
Surprisingly, the way he talks is some of the smaller ones.
Get the big
The small ones use more water. Okay.
A lot of times they
Well,
have
look at
more
him. See how much
integral
water's coming
things.
out of him?
Butterfly.
It's a big, thick stream,
Yeah.
where you have little bitty streams out of
When I give you all
What's the other
just
tall one you
the
look
main picture, I have like
Try to climb up that thing. Oh, I
kinda
see.
like more
Oh,
specs.
see, we don't see it coming out of the mouth like that,
Which one?
as heavy as that one, the picture you just showed.
The seahorse?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it comes out the front and the back. And then, like, I have the more, it tells you like even the spray zone and
I just think he's cute.
it does give like the flow rate.
I just think since we've done the other two small ones, we should do the tall
Yeah.
ones.
Okay.
I vote for this one and that one.
All right,
Yeah.
so Seahorse and,
Twirl.
right, umbrella, okay.
What do y'all think down there?
What's your,
Seahorse
We
and
think
twirl.
seahorse and the twirl, umbrella.
And then we're gonna have the two little ones also, that we've already ordered. Will that use up pretty much, the 15,
sea-
probably after shipping?
Seahorse 77 and 57, so that's 13.4, so that'll be just about right, yeah.
sounds fine to me. As long as we get the
And-
twirl.
If, I don't have the exact shipping,
You have a
but
twirl party when it gets put in.
That's exactly right. It will be, make it go. I'll get out there.
if for some reason it came a little over, which between now and then, I'll try to get with him since we've narrowed it down, but, some of the projects I've done with my capital outlay came in under what I budgeted. So I'd kind of mentioned to the mayor, like, if it did go over,
What was the second one?
you
The
know, a
umbrella?
little bit or $1,000 over, that,
This one,
you
the
know,
seahorse.
I've got money
Seahorse.
to cover that.
So we need to make a motion then for seahorse and umbrella.
Yeah, 'cause it says right on council action. You wanna make that?
Make a motion that we get the umbrella and the seahorse for our two new features to be added to the splash pad.
Okay, I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded that we recommend council action regarding the seahorse and the umbrella.
Do they need to put in there that it's from the Cherokee Nation? Or-
No, that's already, I think that's all.
I mean, we've already got the money and everything.
In the motion, we appropriate status is funding by grant from Cherokee Nation.
Okay.
So we need to
Cherokee
redo it.
Nation funding to purchase the seahorse and the umbrella for the splash pad. And that's been made and seconded. Discussion, any more discussion?
Just a comment. I'd like to publicly thank Cherokee Nation for their investment in our community and our children. They were a big part getting the splash pad
Yeah,
started.
they
And they
done
continue to
25.
support our community and our kids, and
And they were big
We're very
contributors to the pool a
yes.
couple years ago.
they are.
They
They've
put up-
supported the youth in this area through the park board, so thank you to Cherokee Nation.
Yes, definitely.
Councilwoman Janice Taylor is the one that got all this started.
Yeah, this would end up being 40,000 that they've done for the splash pad.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
You're a good partner.
Vote.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 10, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding accepting the tractor bid.
I put this back on there, as far as we did the tractor bid last time, and after Bill and I have visited and we've thought long and hard about it, we really, I think the golf course would benefit on having that bid accepted with that front end loader. We
The
really think that.
John Deere?
Yes, the John Deere.
I
So
think so too.
that loader, yeah, it would just give us, you know, if our backhoe goes out,
Just
we still have a
get-
loader.
If it's
Yeah.
available, get it now.
Right, so that's, and I don't know quite the process we need to go about doing that, but that, we got, you know, we're still be within our budget, so, on that piece of equipment, and so, I just think it's in the best interest of the golf course to have the loader on the bid, on the tractor, versus just tractor it alone
Well,
and
you
trying
can,
to get it
you can
later.
always use two pieces of equipment.
Oh, yeah, and it's, plus it's a lot lighter than a backhoe.
Yeah, and there's-
Backhoe is heavy
yeah, there's
on the golf course.
Attachments we can put on that,
Oh, I think it's
That,
completely
really make it
way to
lock.
do it.
Yeah.
So
So I
we
don't
need to
know,
make a motion into,
golf course, I think.
I don't quite know what the process we need to do. Mayor, they accepted the bid for the tractor without the loader, but we'd like to get the bid with the tractor with the loader.
You talking about who accepted the bid?
The park board did last time.
See, the chamber, or the council didn't vote on it last time because we tabled that. When we brought the rest of the equipment up, we wanted to bring it back to the board, this board, to discuss adding the loader bucket, the loader arms and the loader bucket, back on the tractor as we make the presentation to the council. We wanted it as a one piece thing.
John Deere had a bid with the loader, and then they had one without it.
Okay,
So we took the one without it, but we'd like to take the one with it.
so then, was that motion tabled?
Not at park board. It was approved at the last park board meeting.
Okay, so this would be a new motion then for a new piece, for the new, for
Yeah.
the new
Right.
scenario, yep.
But-
So my,
We approved it without the loader the last time,
we're just amending our motion then, aren't we?
well, so that's what I was asking, was that motion tabled?
no,
No.
So it was approved, so.
it was approved,
So you need another motion then to approve the tractor with the loader.
yes.
And so what that does is that will negate the other action.
Then I make a motion that we accept the bid with the new bid with the loader and loader arms for the tractor then.
With the factory installed loader and bucket, yeah.
Okay.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded, discussion, everybody understand what we're doing?
Basically, instead of just getting one piece of equipment that we thought we were gonna do, we're getting two.
The tractor has a front-end loader to help us load sand.
Same piece of equipment, we're just getting the
Attached to the
attachment
tractor.
to it.
attached.
Right.
Front loader.
Front loader attachment.
There's one more motion that you need to make, and you need to make a motion to remove that other motion that was made previously.
Okay,
Remove that motion from consideration.
but first I can only do one motion at a time.
That's true.
Right, we're gonna vote on this, give me a roll call vote, please.
Okay. Ken Geeser,
Yes,
Marks,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Seaver,
Yes.
and Shelby.
Yes.
now I would entertain a motion to cancel the previous, approval that we had for the John Deere tractor minus the loader.
I'll make a motion to,
Motion's been made to rescind that bid that we have, or that, proposal that we had. I'll need a second.
I'll second, but it's not on the agenda. Can we still do that, though?
If you include that as, that, in my opinion, and I'm not getting,
We probably should have done it all in one motion.
you could have done that all in
Yeah.
one motion,
Right.
but that's not, let me read it.
Yeah.
So,
we did as unforeseen business, could we not?
you could do it as unforeseen business, you could wait for it till number 14.
Yeah, we can amend the motion we just made. The motion that was just voted on, we can
Cancel that.
amend that.
I don't think you voted on it.
No, a motion was made, so I can,
Okay,
it was
Well,
not,
are you talking about the one that we just took the roll call vote on, though?
yeah,
no,
Oh,
No,
okay.
no.
Talk about the
Okay.
other
the one that
motion.
Bill was,
The one that,
Delay that motion to item 14, unforeseeable business.
okay.
let's see, we need,
That is your prerogative as chair.
okay, we need to redo the motion.
just table, just
No,
take it on.
you can delay the motion to item 14.
delay it to item 14?
You delay the motion to item 14,
Okay.
and then go ahead and move to item, item
11.
11.
So we delay item 10, the motion.
I thought we did.
Yeah, the second motion.
The second motion, the motion that he made to rescind the bid.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just did.
Okay, we delay that one to.
Till 14, yeah.
We go ahead and do a roll call on the
Yes, on number
motion
10,
that's out
we
there.
did the
And
motion.
we've already done that?
That's approved.
Okay, so that motion passed.
You all
Okay.
did a motion to
Item number 11.
Right.
Discuss possibly recommend council action regarding accepting the rough mower bid.
All right, on that rough mower, you know, because the meeting got late last time, but over a lot of thought, I'm trying to figure out which mower to get. I don't know if any of y'all had time to look at the two different mowers, but we're kind of, to me, we're in between two different mowers. But since I'm flying out in the morning and I want to be down there where all the technical experts are with both of these mowers, I would like to table this till the next meeting, because we still
Agreed.
have time to get it. And
Agreed.
I can sit down and go over with
tell us
hours and hours with these people over each mower and come back to where I feel really confident on which direction we need to go.
So table number 11?
But before we do it, I do like the mower that's got the quick change and the cheaper blades, because I do think that's,
Right.
if we're gonna spend the money for something that's well worth our money
Right.
Yeah.
and for usage, but that would be the only conversation that I would have, because I think that's by far the best mower.
It is. by far.
I mean, it is expensive.
Yeah.
It is expensive, but I think for labor, repairs, everything about it, we need, if we're gonna spend the money, let's spend it for something that we can, get use out of.
We could take it out to the soccer fields and demo it sometime.
Anytime they wanna do it. That thing is really, really nice.
That thing mows. And I
It's,
mean,
if you watch the demos and you watch the people and hear the people that talk about it,
It's outstanding.
why would you buy something different?
Right. It's
My opinion.
35,000 versus 22 or 3,000, somewhere right in there. It's talking like 13, but it's just incredible what it does. But I can spend hours and hours with these people in the
Right.
next 2 days and understanding.
So the piece of equipment that you're talking about to pay is it in this packet?
It's called the Snake
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
Trimex.
It's in here?
Trimex, yes. Trimex.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Watch the
I-
YouTube video. I can't tell you, watch the YouTube video, because it explains a lot.
Right.
Who's it made by?
Trimex.
Trimax, okay.
Yeah, and we sent everybody links. I don't know if y'all received them, but you can go in there. Like I said, watch the YouTube videos. It is crazy on how good they are. And
For us to have one even this close, anybody,
Yeah.
there's not a golf course, I don't know how, maybe Southern Hills probably has them, but
yeah, it's really a good mower.
Trimax,
It
okay,
really
right here, the
is
Trimax
crazy.
snake.
Was that the professional turf products one?
No,
No.
no, it's by Trimex.
Okay.
Yeah, it's under
The
this.
neat thing about that one that
GLX.
it does do is it mows, you can mow down to 3/8 of an inch. We could actually mow fairways with it. It's a rough mower, but the quality's crazy on what this thing does.
Mine's under
But I
this-
just want, that's the whole thing. I mean, you're spending a lot more money, but man, you're getting quality that does so much more.
it's a backup. If anything ever happens, we could use it as a backup mower. And that
Absolutely.
was,
For three
the
things.
deal to me. It's not a one,
Versatility of it.
it's not a
Crazy.
one mower, it's a dual mower,
Yeah.
so
Maybe
it's really,
three.
it's really nice.
And it's,
So do we need to make a motion to table item number 11 then?
Yes.
I would like to just so, because I'm gonna be down there and I can talk to all the experts, because the only people I've talked to up here that when they brought the mowers up, we demoed them all. I'm just talking to a salesman, I'm not talking to somebody that,
Manufacturer.
exactly. I can go to the manufacturer's reps and I can talk to them and really hammer out the details. But
Okay, so I make a motion that we table agenda item number 11.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 12, discuss possibly recommend council action regarding the use of a sectioned off part of the cart building for a golf simulator. For that use, CMS would pay for electric bill for the meter. for that meter, for that, building.
So, the reason why I put this on, I don't know how much you guys are aware of, but the golf simulator business is really growing. So it's something that people come out and do, you know, we can give lessons, do club fittings on them, people can just come out and play them. So that business is really growing, and when I was at the PGA show, of course, overseas, it is crazy how much they do simulators. But it's growing in the United States. I mean, there's several in Tulsa already. So it's something that would give our clients a reason to come out when it's raining. They can't go out and play. Anytime the weather's bad, we might have a chance to still keep our customers engaged. So through a lot of work, I've talked to a guy. It's quite the investment to purchase a simulator, so we've come up with a little bit of a business plan between him and myself. So then the deal would be where to put it. Well, the only place we could put it would be in the cart building, section part of it off, and that would cost about $10,000 that we would incur just to, you know, redo a little bit of the cart building. But to make an area so that people could come out, sit down comfortable, hit golf balls in simulators, play games. It's crazy what all they're doing now, but it would give us another you know, way to just keep our customers engaged. So just talking to Bill, and y'all may have some other ideas, but we talked, well, it'd be fair, because you know, we want the golf course to get something out of it, that at least we paid the electric bill in the building, where the golf course wouldn't even have to pay electric bill. Now during the summertime, you know, everybody's gonna be out golfing anyway, so it'd probably get very little use through the summertime. But through the wintertime and bad days, you know, it would be something that some people come out and use. So don't really need to have any action taken tonight unless y'all really feel that it's fine. But I just wanna get y'all thinking, hey, this is something we'd like to do. Is the board interested in us trying to move forward with this, or, you know, what y'all's thoughts were on it?
Would this be an additional income for the golf course to help pay for some of the deficit that it's having right now?
We didn't see it as being additional income as we did maybe taking away some of the expenses. If, you know, like paying the electric bill, you know, where you know, we'd pay electric bills instead of the city paying that electric bill. It is metered off separately, so it's not hard for that to happen. As far as additional revenue, I'm still having a hard time figuring out, is it even a profitable deal to do? If it's, you know, if it's not profitable for my investor, then he's not gonna wanna do it, you know? So, it's kind of an uncharted territory, because nobody else around here has one. So if you do one, well, how much business will you get? We don't know. And, you know, when you invest $50,000, $60,000, you know, you gotta make some money back, and it's really hard to see how much money you're gonna make back, because nobody really does this. Even in Tulsa, it's at some country clubs, but it's not at a public golf course as a revenue generator. So I don't know.
Well, it's different enough. It's not like Top Golf is over in Tulsa either. So you're
Right.
completely different.
Yeah.
There's a guy that I watch on YouTube, and
Yes.
he does golf. I mean, I watch him daily, and that's why he hits a similar. He's in England,
Right.
and he shows that because the weather over there is horrible right now, so they're in there, and that's their big deal for them. But
Yeah.
club sales, and I mean, there's some things that would definitely generate some income.
Yeah. It would.
Somehow it would.
Right. It would help, but then yet, is it profitable? I don't know. You know, so I don't know. I would always want it to be fair. If it become a very profitable deal, I'd want it to be fair for the city, you know, myself. And I think this gentleman would too, you know. But just to get it to break even is quite a bit of money. I mean, you're talking about, you know, trying to generate $15,000, $20,000 a year out of it just to probably break even. So.
Well, I would think it would probably need some type of contract going into it, rather than just saying, would it not? Kind of like the pro shop, or kind of like, would it not need some type of?
If it,
Would it be in addition to the pro shop?
yes, I mean, it'd just be under CMS, you know, it's just allowing us, you know, like, if I'm out there giving lessons or anything, it's
Right.
just another tool for me to give lessons with, so.
So you would be able to put that machine out there, that would be your expense, and, whatever proceeds that would come from using that would be, either something that would benefit, pro shop, or it would benefit, the golf course.
Correct.
One of the, one of the two, or both,
Right.
one of the two, or both.
We want it to benefit the golf course if we do it, we're just not sure how to make that happen. So, and that's what Bill and I talked about.
When you say in terms of benefiting the golf course, would that be monetarily or some other
Yeah.
way? Okay.
Paying for the electric bill, see, right now, the golf course has to pay the electric bill in that building.
Mhm.
So if we at least paid that, then that eases the golf course some. Is that enough? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is
Do
it-
do we know, that is a separate meter for that
Yes,
building?
uh-huh, yeah,
Do we know what that runs about?
I think it, right now, it's probably been running, I think, $400 or $500 a year.
Okay.
Generally speaking, what benefits the pro shop is gonna benefit, the golf
Right.
operations.
Yep.
So, if that enhances, golf club sales, then that's, the golf club sales are gonna enhance
Correct.
the activity of the golf course.
What studies have proven that anytime you can teach your golfers and make them better golfers, they have more fun, they spend more money playing golf, or, renting golf carts, it helps everybody. The more we can teach, it just helps everybody, so.
As far as anything contractual, what would need to be done contractually would be regarding the electricity.
Correct.
So that, there wouldn't need to be anything contractual except for that. That would be an agreement that would be added on to the agreement with Pro Shop.
And I haven't even finished with the business plan, because I wanted to see what y'all's thoughts for first, to see if this investor even wants to do that. He may not say,
To heat the building, I mean,
Hmm?
does the golf cart does it have heat?
We would take care of the heat. No, we'd have to heat it. No, yeah, that would be on us to heat it, yeah, because you'd want to have it heated. Yeah, so, heating it and sectioning it off, putting a wall in, that would all be on us. Because we figured it's gonna take $10,000 just to get it into that condition, that you could put the simulator and everything in it. We
But
want-
whoever's gonna do, it, they have to agree if they, even to do this. that
Right.
It's still
Yeah.
not a done deal with
No.
whoever that
Right.
is.
It's not a
Sounds like
done deal.
putting a business plan together.
Correct,
Facility would be a city-owned facility.
correct.
So the contractual part of it would be in a city-owned facility, this piece of equipment would sit there, and because of that, the golf course would pay the electric bill.
Correct. CMS would pay the electric bill, yeah.
The CMS, not the golf course.
Right, we'd pay,
CMS, which is the other name for the pro shop.
yeah,
Course management systems.
yeah.
Okay. So right now that we're still not really ready to send anything to council yet?
It's up to y'all, if y'all, I don't need to know what y'all's thoughts and feelings were on it, if you wanted to.
I mean, I think I'd feel a little better if I knew whoever was gonna do the golf simulator was sold on it and wanted to do it and that sort of thing, but,
Well, this is part of the deal, is figuring out what the city would want or not want, so that I can present that to them.
Well,
That's what I'm asking y'all. is-
I think it definitely is a want and a need. Just because there is, like you said, if you can get, the more people you get involved and they're out there, hey, I'm gonna go hit golf balls, well, it's too wet. No, actually, I can go inside and I can get balls on the simulator.
Yep,
I think you are definitely going to get some interest there.
yep.
But I think you're right, you've got to figure out contractual wise.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe the city needs to look at this, if this would be a good investment for the city, because if we're helping fund the golf course now, this might be a good investment for the city itself to do.
Yeah.
Agreed. I mean, is that something viable to where, hey,
You
and
know,
pay Dennis so much for.
right.
To manage it and take care of it. I definitely agree.
You know, maybe that's the trend now to where the play is more virtual. I mean, I can see when the district opens up and there's a lot of nightlife and there's a lot of, you know,
They got
is
that thing
this.
called Top Golf that sells out for a reason.
Oh, it's, yeah, yeah, so, you know, I'm just wondering maybe if this would be a plan for the city to even look at.
Well, perhaps it would, but, to see a business plan, I think is what the council would prefer to see,
Mhm.
is to see a business plan.
I concur. Then I guess on this, do we need to,
The initial cash outlay is gonna be 50,000 at least.
Well, you're looking at 55,000 roughly for the simulator, another 10,000 to redo the inside building, so you're looking at
Right.
$65,000. Just roughly, so.
so as far, so this, so on the item then, do we need to table, do we need to no action and just let it lay there, and that way there's no action taken on it, so it can be brought up again? Mayor?
I think you take no action.
No action?
You make the comments about the contractual, comments about, seeing a business plan. If you want council to move on it, to move positively on it, then council's gonna want to see a business plan. I know that.
As far as the council funding the money or the private investor doing it? Or
Well, either way,
one? Either way?
either way, because it's gonna sit on city property.
Right,
It's gonna sit in a city-owned building.
right.
And, so, I think to see a business plan, I think is appropriate.
Right.
So,
Well, I think it's a huge want. I mean, it's not just a want, I think it's a need out there, and I think it will do very, very well.
We think it's a good idea, just
Oh, I
trying to
think
figure out
it's a-
how to make it happen, you know, but it's, boy, it's a, you know,
It's an expense, it definitely
Expense.
is, but I mean, you're right, with what's happening out there. Hey, we can go hit golf balls down at such and such.
Go out
You
front.
could, I mean, and that may open up a whole new can of worms to where maybe we need to talk about putting a restaurant or building facility out there to house people.
Well, and especially with the district and seeing what's gonna happen, we can't even foresee what's gonna happen on the other end of 69A in the next year, and I think
Sure.
that this might be,
I think you're 100% right, I think.
I think we need to have a
Want.
vision here, and we need to,
I think we're moving in the right direction, So a business plan, would include maintenance costs. It would include, cost of operations, cost of operation of that particular equipment. And, just being able to generate those estimates to bring before the council and say, this is the reason why it's a good idea.
okay. We can do that, because I've got all those numbers pretty much dialed in already.
So we doing no action at this point in time?
Yes.
And I'll work on the business plan.
Okay. Item number 12
Do we need a motion for no action, or just, no?
will be a
Okay.
no action item.
Okay.
And that's kinda cool. I'm excited about seeing that, quite honestly.
It's really neat stuff.
Item number 13, discussion, possible action regarding handing out membership packets versus mailing them in order to save on postage.
I asked that this be put on the agenda, and I mean, I can even help with that. I think we've tried to do this a couple of times. I don't know, I mean, I think I've come up with the idea, but I don't think that we've done that. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out again. You know, you can have, you know, and in fact, I meant to bring that. I had an accordion folder at home. It's about yay big, A through Z. And I mean, I think it could work very easily. I mean, I know, and I looked at some postage, you know, so I think, in fact, I had that. It was from 2016, and that one postage alone was over $1.25, I think. And that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, last year, out of couple hundred of them, we probably mailed out 20 or 30.
That's all you mailed out? So the other ones you did give out?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing,
Okay, because mine was mailed.
yeah.
And I'm
If
thinking,
people
I'm
didn't
out there
come
all the
out, we
time.
didn't catch them. Bill, you got yours, didn't you? Just handed them out. So we
Yeah,
try to
it
hand them all
Should
out.
be an easy process to
Yeah.
hand those out.
As long as people are coming out within a timely manner,
Right.
we don't see you, then we gotta get that notice to you so you have time to pay it.
Right.
But yeah.
So
people's
what,
coming out.
so you probably do those over several months, you maybe start handing them out in either March or April and do it through May?
Yeah, we should try to start doing it in, late March.
Late March.
To have them all out by the 1st of April. That gives everybody at least 30 days before they're due May 1st.
Okay,
That's what we try to do.
that's good if we're doing it, that's,
Yeah.
that's good
Yeah,
stuff.
we didn't mail hardly any of them out last year.
So do we need to do anything at all on that?
It sounds like it's been happening,
Yep.
No action?
no action.
No action. Item number 14, unforeseeable business. At this point, I'd like to hear a motion to withdraw the tractor without loader that we approved at the last meeting and cancel that. And I would entertain a motion to that effect.
We cancel it, are we canceling, or are we rescinding that?
You are rescinding that motion.
Rescinding that motion.
Motion to rescind the motion for that piece of equipment.
So Bill's made it, so I can,
If Bill made it, then you can second it.
did you
He's
make it?
just asking for a motion.
Oh,
Are you asking, I'll make the motion then that we rescind the
Okay, rescind
previous,
previous
the previous.
tractor bid
Bid.
without loader.
Correct.
Okay. I didn't, and a second.
I can second it, but I'm totally confused, but I guess I can second it anyway, but.
We can only have one tractor floating around at a time, is what he's saying.
Okay. Call for the vote, huh?
Any other discussion before we vote? Okay.
Find a pig in the
All in
hole.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I'd like to bring one thing up. We're going into spring, and we're going to talk about lightning.
Protocol or protection?
We've got a situation out there that we need storm shelter. We need at least enough storm shelter to hold 10 or 15 or 20 people. You know, if we had two standalones that we could bolt in somewhere, would be fine, but we talked about, they talked about one time getting one of those tanks that
Shropshire.
yeah, that Google had, but by the time you get the,
That was gonna end up costing us.
time you put it in the ground and you put $20,000 or $30,000 with it, you can buy a couple of these standalones, I think, and bolt them into the floor somewhere. And
What do other golf courses do?
Are you talking almost like a safe room of some sort?
yeah, right.
I have never been on a golf course that had a safe room. I mean, that's me personally, and I've been on a lot of golf courses.
Here's
But-
the other
Of course,
side.
you wouldn't necessarily know if they had one.
Well, yeah, yes, I would. Yes, I would. I played in some crappy weather, and I would know that,
Here's the other side of that,
okay?
is that in the contract, we have to live out there. So I have to live out there without one. Now, I can live in Pryor, I've got one. All right, so it's so uncomfortable being out there when storms come through and they're hollering, or the siren went off the other day. We had the siren right down the streets going off, I've got I got a pro shop full of golfers, plus myself and my family, so we're concerned, we want safety.
Sure.
Tornado last fall blew down one of the trees on the golf course, wiped it out, right there on 11, a big tree, strong tree, so, and we have no place to go.
And the guy's working out there.
Yeah, so, to me.
So should everyone carry around a one iron?
God
can't hit a one iron.
I dare you, Lord. I dare you.
So that's.
Sorry to make light of it.
Now, when we build the new maintenance shed, the new maintenance building, we may be able to put a safe room in there,
Right.
at least for the workers.
Right,
But
so the workers will have. a
we
place.
really need something up around the clubhouse for,
Right.
you know, that'll hold 10, 15 people at least, you know. And you can buy them, they got them big enough to do that, you know, that aren't overly expensive,
Yeah,
so.
it's not a lot of money.
I'm just
but
bringing that up now, and
The safety and
we
security.
need to think about that, because we're gonna get one, we almost have a 12-month season anyway anymore.
I think what might be appropriate, now, this is not on the agenda. This is-
No, it's not on the agenda.
What I think you should do is go ahead and adjourn, and then perhaps we could have
Have a discussion? Yeah, okay. All right, any other unforeseen business? Item number 15, petitions from the audience. I would entertain a motion.
I make
adjourn.
a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you all. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, May. Thank you, Darla.
Just in passing,